Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome if you're new here. My name is Ridhi. I would love for you to join my little YouTube family, and in today's video I am going to share a lot of tips and tricks on how you guys can achieve a sweat-proof, smudge-proof, mask-proof, summer, glowy, fresh, long-lasting makeup look. So before jumping right into the video, consider subscribing if you haven't already and also like this video. Now, my first tip for you guys is to do your skincare 10 to 15 minutes prior to doing your makeup. That way your moisturizer gets a better chance to absorb into your skin. If you were to do your skincare with your makeup, it sort of like mixes in with your base products and makes them a lot more creamier, and then that causes your foundation to move around throughout the day, which you definitely don't want. And also try and use a lightweight moisturizer that absorbs into your skin beautifully and not just sits on top of your skin. So the moisturizer that I use today is the L'Oreal Hydra Fresh Anti-Ox Serum and Moisturizer in one. At first when I tried this, I was like, it's just like an okay moisturizer, not too amazing. But I have completely fell in love with this because it is so lightweight. It sinks into my skin beautifully. It also provides me with a beautiful glow and keeps my skin hydrated throughout the day. And in summers, you definitely should not skip onto your SPF. You should not skip onto your SPF even in winters. Well, I am guilty of that, but in summers I am more diligent with my sunscreen. And let me just say that I hate sunscreens. Hey, they're just like so thick. They leave a weird white cast on your skin. I hate it. But this one I love, okay? This is the glowy Dox Silicon Sunscreen Gel with SPF 15. This is oil-free, gives you a matte finish, water resistance, non-comedogenic, and it is for all skin types. Now, as it says, it's a silicone based, so it sort of also acts like a primer for me. It fills in your pores, not extremely, but it does a beautiful job of like smoothing your skin out as well as protecting at the same time. You don't want your skin to produce a lot of oil and sebum, so this sunscreen keeps them at bay. Coming to our third tip, you want to do your eyebrows first. Once you put your foundation and concealer, it goes all around your eyebrows as well, and once you start putting on your eyebrow pencil, it sort of like mixes in and makes it more creamier, and then it moves around throughout the day, which you don't want. So what I do is to take sort of a tissue. If you have a blotting sheet, you can take that. I don't, and I sort of like blot around my eyebrow area, making sure there is no excess moisture around it. I want this area to be dry. This is the Nude Sticks Eyebrow Stylist in the shade Ash Brown. So I just like to fill in my eyebrows lightly. I don't like a heavier eyebrow look. I love my eyebrows to look as natural as they can, which is great for me because more the product you use, more sort of it moves around throughout the days. Now coming to the fourth step. This step will be a little weird for some of you, especially with people with dry skin, but if you think about it, it will make a lot of sense to you. We use powder to soak in excess of oil and to sort of block the oil production, right? So why not do this step before your foundation? It will stop the oil before it reaches your foundation, which is amazing, right? So the one that I'm going to use today is the Maybelline Fit Me Powder. I'm specifically using this because this really does a great job of filling in pores, but you don't have to go overboard. You just need a little lightest layer, or it can get really cakey. Trust me. Always keep this in mind. Less is more. So I don't use this all around my face. I just use it on the areas that I get oily the most, which for me is my T-zone. Especially my nose gets really oily. On my eyelids, you can see the difference it makes straight away. Center of my forehead, it just mattifies straight away. My upper lips and my nose are the most important area for me, and obviously on pore area. Now don't skip the step, use it on your eyebrows as well. I am sort of like setting in my eyebrow pencil. Really buff the powder. You don't want any excess powder. Now I don't like to go in with my foundation directly on top of the powder, so I will use a little bit of setting spray first. So this is the PAC Micro Finish Makeup Fixer. Setting sprays are the best thing for summertime. If you don't own a setting spray, you definitely should, because they really lock in your makeup for long hours, but also soaks in a lot of like excess powder and makes your skin look like skin. So why wouldn't you want to have it, you know? So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. You don't want to wet your skin up. Just that much. Just that much. Now I am going to color correct. I have a very specific reason as to why. Your mask comes around your hair and the main focus goes around your eyes, and I sort of want my under eyes to look flawless, you know? And also I want to use as little bit of concealer, as little layers as possible. So what we tend to do is we put a little bit of concealer, we are not satisfied with that coverage, and we start building the concealer on and on and on and on, which at the end of the day is going to crease. Don't do that. Half of your job is done with the color corrector, okay? I am going to use the LA Gold Pro Conceal in the shade Peach. Now color correcting can be done before the powder. I sort of forgot to do it, so I'm gonna do it now. Now I don't blend out my color corrector completely. I sort of like let it dry out where I need it the most, because anyways I am going to use my foundation or my concealer on top of it, so it will be covered anyways, but that way I will sort of have the most coverage. And now I am going to go in with my foundation, and my foundation of choice is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is in the shade 140 Golden Beige. I love this so much. This is a very thin, lightweight, water-based foundation. You want something really fresh during summers. You don't want heavy foundation. Water-based foundations are your best bet because they settle into your skin really, really beautifully. If you haven't tried this foundation out, you definitely should. So I am just going to go with like one pump of this. I don't even feel this sitting on top of my skin. That is how lightweight this foundation is. When it comes to summertime, less is more. You don't want to build up your foundation. It will go cakey throughout the day. So I sort of like take one pump and dab it throughout my skin so that I know that it's gonna like cover my skin completely and I don't have to go in with second pump. And I will start dabbing it into my skin. Now I personally love to use a blender because it soaks in any excess product from your skin, and also you have to go in with dapping motions. Do not swipe this on your skin or else you will interrupt your primer and your powder that you put on prior to your foundation. And if you think that using a blender takes away the coverage, what you can do is to use a brush first and then you can sort of go in with a blender to soak in any excess product. Make sure to go around your nose and make that sort of a face because usually that is where foundation sits, you know. Now for the concealer, I am going to use the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer in the shade 10 Light. I'm using this because this is a very long wearing concealer, or even the Tarte Shape Tape is good. Even the Wet n Wild concealers are great. I love to go in on my eyes because that is usually where the most of the darkness is. And I'm not going to use the concealer on my nose today because you know masks usually sit on top of your nose and that is where your makeup tends to rub off the most. And now I'm going to go in with my eyebrow gel and set my eyebrows in place. This way my powders have got time to settle in, because sometimes if you use some sort of like eyebrow gel on top of powder, it can sort of like start balling up and you don't want that. So give it a little bit of rest, let it settle in, and then use your eyebrow gel. And I'm using the Nude Sticks Brow Gel because this makes my eyebrow last forever. And now it's time to set in your base. So I usually just go in with a fluffy brush and set it. Today I'm gonna do it differently because I really want my makeup to last. So what I'm gonna do is to take my blender. This is the Dose of Colors beauty sponge. I'm gonna take my makeup fixer and just slightly damp this up, and now I'm gonna dunk the damp side into the powder. Now if you think that I'm going to bake, you're thinking it wrong. It just doesn't go well with my dry skin. Always before using powder, just make sure there's no concealer settling into your fine lines. If so they are, just go in and blend it out. This is a lot, okay? This is a lot. I don't need this much. So I am literally gonna take out all the excess. And now I'm going to go on top of my skin with this. See, I'm not looking excessively powdery. So what the sponge and makeup fixer does is to sort of like hydrate the powder and not make it look too powdery, but still set at the same time. And now it's time to lively up our face, put back in some glow and some color. It's just too blank right now. A little set and hydration. This will soak in any excess powder and also sort of make your base last longer. I sort of love to go in with my blender and really push the makeup fixer in. I am going to use MAC Glow Play Blush in shade Blush Please. This blush has such a beautiful texture. It is creamy, but it settles into your skin so beautifully. It's not at all tacky or anything like that. You don't have to buff it. You don't have to swipe it. You just need to press this blush in. Do not interrupt the base layers. Just dab it into your skin. And I love to add my blush right onto the apple of my cheeks and also on my nose. It just looks so cute, you know? And since it is a glow play blush, it just starts putting back in so much of glow. I love it. Now I know you might be thinking, why not go in with a powder instead of a cream? I don't know what's up with blushes. They just disappeared in no time, and using a blush, it just lasts longer. Now I won't recommend going in with cream blush, with a cream bronzer, with a cream highlighter. Just use one cream product and rest can be powder. For the bronzer, I am going to go in with the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster in shade medium to dark. This is in my collection since so long, and I've not really used this, so I sort of like picked it out today to use it because why not? So again, I'm just pressing it into my skin and blending it that way. By the way, the brush I'm using is from Note. It does not have any number on it, but this is my favorite bronzer brush ever. It is meant for medium to dark skin tone. I don't know how a person with darker skin tone can pull this off. And you know, I love to use it on my nose. It's like a quick contouring. For highlighter, I picked this one out today. This is the Ofra highlighter in the shade Blissful, and I also don't sort of remember how this looks. I'm already pretty glowy, so I don't need to use a lot. Whoa, oh my god. That's intense. Right on top of my cheekbones. Whoa, that's an intense highlighter. Oh my god. Oh this does not look cool at all. Do you see that gray cast? This is bad. This is like bad. I'm gonna use a little bit of like my blush on top of it. Hopefully it will sort of like normalize it. I don't know. So I am going to use my Benefit Cookie highlighter because I know that this works. No gray cast. And sound and tea. This is the best highlighter ever. You just need to use a little teeny tiny bit of it and it just gives you such a beautiful wet looking skin. Now for the eyeshadow, today I'm going to do a one eyeshadow look. This is my go-to when I am in a hurry and I need to put something on quickly, especially for night out, because this is so simple but it looks so glam. So my shadow of choice is the Dose of Colors Block Party eyeshadow in shade Caffeine Queen. This is a beautiful, cool toned, rich brown shade with a lot of shimmers in it. I have two shades in the Dose of Colors Block Party eyeshadows. If you haven't tried these, you're missing out on some beautiful eyeshadows. I'm just gonna use my finger and go directly on my lids. I don't know if the camera is catching the shimmers in it or not, but it is so pretty. Oh my god. Now don't use any sort of powder before going in with this shadow, because the tackiness from the concealer will set this beautifully. Just gonna use this shadow a little bit, dust off the excess, and I'm just gonna use it on my crease and blend out that shadow. It's just so pretty. I am going to tight line. You guys can use a liner with this eye look if you guys want to, but I just love the way this looks, honestly. Now I don't like to use this eyeshadow on my lower lash line because this is so shimmery. So what I'm gonna do is to use my bronzer on my lower lash line. You can't even see this, okay? I am going to go in with a brown eyeshadow instead, this shade. I love smoky lower lash lines. It just looks so sexy. I might also use the shade on here. I'm really messy with this, okay? But this will just add a little bit of depth. For my mascara, I am going to use the Maybelline Total Temptation Waterproof Mascara. It is obviously great to use a waterproof mascara. I'm gonna use it on my lower lash line as well. Now coming to the lips. This is what transfers and smudges the most on your mask. You can't use a lip gloss. Although I'm all about lip gloss these days, I love using lip glosses, but unfortunately I can't. My first option is to use a tinted lip balm. What I love is the Innisfree My Lip Balm. Extremely thick sort of a formula, but it's not too creamy. Even though this will rub off a little, but it will leave back a little bit of stain on your lips, which you're looking for. This is in the shade Sun-Kissed Cherry Tea. So that is how the shade looks on my skin tone. It just has like that little teeny tiny bit of transfer, not a lot, okay? So my next option is to use a lip tint. This is the Water Fit Tint X. This will sink in completely into your lips. This one is by the Face Shop and this is in the shade 01 Rose Pink. And just dab it. And this has like no transfer. Like this is like transfer proof. And my last option is to use lip liners as your lip colors. They are formulated to last longer than your lipsticks. I love the ones by K-Beauty. They are extremely creamy, but they really last long on your lips. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Hype. This lip color matches beautifully with my eye look. I love it. I like to use a little bit of lip balm, slightly give it a little bit of slick because my lips are very dry. If you do have beautifully hydrated lips, you don't need to use it. You can just go in with your lip liner. And the last step is to again use a makeup fixer to make your makeup last throughout the day or the night. Before finishing this video, I have a last tip for you all, okay? Are you ready? Take your translucent powder, take your sponge, dip your sponge into your translucent powder and go right onto your mask, onto the back of your mask. Obviously, I know it's too much, but honestly, this is the best tip that I can give you. You don't want your mask to be all dusty, so dust off the excess. I hope that you guys wash your mask regularly, so no worries of that. It will come off in your washing machine. And now I assure you that your makeup is transfer proof, honey. Like, look, no transfer. But how you will be able to see it? You know, I had a powder on it. And that's the finished look, you guys. I hope that I was able to help you guys with these tips and tricks on how you can make your makeup last longer and make your makeup mask proof. I know we aren't really going out. Mostly every state in India is under a lockdown, but hopefully soon the cases will go down and we will be able to go back to our normal routine. I hope that we guys come out of it really strong, and hopefully someday India will be corona free. Let's just hope for the best, and till then we can put makeup on for ourselves, because for me it's a therapy to put makeup on. I just love playing around with makeup and trying different things. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do it. You got the time to do it. So if you love how the look turned out, do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload a new video. If any of you have a trick on how you make your makeup last, let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to know them and include it in my own makeup routine. And it can be helpful for anyone watching this video. Whosoever will go in the comment section, it will be helpful. So leave your tips and tricks in the comments down below, and I will see you all next time. Till then, stay safe, stay happy. Bye.